Now, our next speaker wants us to reflect on how much our defense capacity and capabilities depend on a robust and resilient energy system, a timely reminder in this Norwegian Total Defense Year of 2026. Dr. Janet Martha Blatney is the Research Director of the Total Defense Division at the Norwegian Defence Research Establishment, in short FFI in Norwegian, where they perform research on topics within national defence, security and resilience. And just like our previous speaker, Janet Blatney, who holds a PhD in biotechnology engineering, has extensive experience from NATO, currently as a special advisor for NATO's chief scientist in Brussels. Today, she's here in Trondheim, so please give Janet Blatney a warm welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. It's really an honor to be here. I want to talk a little bit about NATO first. NATO is operating under a very unpredictable and challenging strategic environment. And war is ongoing, and we are dealing with strategic competition, we're dealing with instability, and we are dealing with geopolitical shocks. And the lines between conventional and unconventional threats are even becoming more and more blurred every day. Now, the lessons learned from Ukraine have shown us a lot, or given us a lot of experience. And deliberate attacks within the energy sector has really shown how civilian infrastructure is targeted to undermine resilience, also have an impact on the critical infrastructures to the population, and it also has shown potential threats to the functioning of the state itself. China and Russia's collaboration has been deepening, both within the energy and within the Arctic. And China's strong position regarding electrical vehicles and battery manufacturing and renewable technologies have created even more dependencies. On top of that, we have climate change. That adds another layer of complexity, and which has an impact not only on the civilian side, but also on the defense sector, also on military bases, critical infrastructure, and energy supply stability. So, since 2014, NATO has had a lot of focus on increasing resilience, national resilience, and that was reinforced in NATO's 2022 strategic concept. Resilience is, this is by definition, the individual and collective capacity to prepare for, resist, respond to, and quickly recover from shocks and disruptions, and to ensure the continuity of the alliance's activities. Resilience is both a national responsibility and a collective commitment. It's rooted in Article 3 in the Washington Treaty. I'm sure you heard about Article 5, but Article 3 is just as important. It's about resilience. So what happened in 2016? The Allies agreed upon NATO's 7 baseline requirements. And these requirements are guidelines. And there are also evaluation criteria that the Allied nations could use to conduct their national resilience assessments and to align with NATO's defense and planning process. These requirements, they span across 3 core functions of civilian preparedness: continuity of government, essential services, and also civilian support to the military. And our white paper, our national white paper, the total preparedness paper from 2025, and our long-term planning within the Defense Pledge, which is a 12-year plan, has really focused more and more on civilian support to the defense, to the military operations. And the Norwegian Armed Forces are critically dependent on support from the society and on essential functions, such as energy. And that's why I would like to point out 2 baseline requirements. One is the one on energy supplies, resilient energy supplies, and the other one is on resilient civil communication systems, because energy and digital infrastructure are interlinked. So Norway as an energy nation and a crucial supplier to Europe, which was stated in the previous discussion today, we have a unique role. But we have a geographic proximity to Russia. And we have a huge ambition regarding green energy transition. And this all introduces dependencies and vulnerabilities, and we have to understand our dilemma, or dilemmas in plural. So lessons learned from Ukraine have shown the importance of a whole of society and a whole of government approach dealing with resilience. But in Norway, this is a part of our total defense concept. And this concept is really about mutual support between the civilian society and the defense sector. And it's really about using all the resources we have in our nation to safeguard our national security. It's not only dealing in peacetime, but in crisis, conflict, and war. It's one of the three main pillars in the Norwegian defense effort, and that's why also FFI has a huge focus on strengthening total defense as a strategic research priority. And that leads me over to a few examples that I would like to provide to you. We have also been looking on the robustness dealing with power supplies. And in 2023, we had an analysis regarding malicious acts on how malicious acts could interfere or have an impact on the Norwegian power supply. We use a scenario-based approach, and areas such as cybercrime, extremism, state actors, hybrid interference, non-state actors, and also the uncertainty of the security policy situation, as well as the green transition. What kind of impact would that have? The bottom line is that Norway must prepare for realistic worst-case scenarios. We did another study in 2024 and 2025, and that was assigned by the Norwegian Water Resources and Energy Directorate, NVE, and also Statnett, where we highlighted several recommendations in order to strengthen our power system, in order to strengthen our preparedness. So, different holistic approaches, procurement, proactive measures against airborne threats, more training and exercises as well. But this year, we delivered a new report to the Ministry of Trade and Fisheries on civilian and military needs for food and fuel, but in this context, more of interest fuel, and how the supply chains could be more secured. As mentioned, Norway is heavily dependent on diesel, on imported diesel. And in wartime, the gaps will become increasingly different regarding peacetime and regarding war. Military demands will increase, civilian demands will increase, and we have to talk more about the impact this has on the different critical sectors. We can rather discuss more during the plenary or during the panel session. But I'll give the bottom line. We have to prepare, and when we prepare within also energy resilience and security by, for instance, increasing our stockpiles, having a more flexible domestic production. Transport infrastructure is clearly very important, and we have to look upon the dependencies between energy, transport, digital infrastructure, and workforce as well. But when we increase our preparedness in this area, we also increase our preparedness in NATO. We support the NATO 7 baseline requirements, and we also increase us as a reliable ally. So by that, thank you for your attention.